Hi, guys. Can you hear me? The most weird thing happened today. So I was supposed to go live. I usually go live on my laptop, and my laptop decided to have other plans. And I said, you know what? I give it to the Lord. I don't stress about things like that anymore. I just hope that you can hear me. Like, either way, this live will be done. It's just like, so I'm using my iPad, and then my phone is doing its thing here. So, guys, please let me know if you can hear me. Let me check myself out to see if I can hear myself. If I start, hi Jason. Okay, I'm live. Hold on. I can hear myself. If I start, okay. So everything is fine. Yo, like, listen. Sometimes the devil will try you guys. Sometimes when you're trying to do something, when you're working towards something, it's when everything else wants to go wrong. But I said no. I said, the Lord I serve is bigger than all this. So I said, you know what? I'll make it work from here because I've done this before and I'll do it again. Okay. Anyway, so guys, sorry. No, hold on just a minute. A minute. Hold on. Let me just send someone. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, some professional, Joanne. Come on. I'd sent someone an email, but they didn't get it, so I'm just sending them the link again. So here I am, guys. Let's start this over again. Hi, my name is Joanita Maaya. I am a relocation consultant. I am a YouTuber. I am a podcast host. I am an Airbnb host. What else am I? I'm a sister. I'm a friend. Not just a wife. Yeah, I'm all those things. So yeah, so welcome to my live. I'm so happy you're here. Please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me, because I told you guys I usually use my laptop for the lives, but because my laptop has decided to crash last minute, on top of it crashing and glitching, because I literally just called someone and I'm like, hey, my laptop is ABC, just like it does that when it's overheating. So I used it today morning and now I'm trying to use it for the live. So it's saying no, that failed. I said, you know what, I'll make it work. So I go ahead and do it and try to make it work. Then it's not connecting to the Wi-Fi. I said, Lord, is it me that you're trying to test? Are these the trials and tribulations you talked about? Hold on. Oh, hold on. Jason is here. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I'm sorry. I had to switch from my laptop to my iPad. So everything has just been, I had to
No problem,
pivot.
no problem.
It happens. I had to pivot and say, you know what? I'm going to make it work. No matter what happens, I'm going to still go ahead and show up. So that's where I am right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we're excited to have you on here, even though you're not showing your face. For the people who are just joining in, like, let them know you're an actual person. Someone may be saying, who is this bot? Because your face is not being seen. But, like, just tell us a bit about yourself before we start. Jason,
Yes, can you hear me?
hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
All right, good. What's up, everybody? First of all, like, subscribe, subscribe to this woman's channel. We're gonna get to 100,000. She's doing
Yeah.
great things, good things for the Pan African movement. I'm very proud of her. I've been waiting to have this conversation. I'm saying I'm ready to
Yeah.
go. Oh,
Okay, so we're ready to go. So we have been talking back and forth, but let's not tell the what we've been talking about. But the this topic was quite interesting to me because as an African, I basically see things from like the normal media outlets, but I don't think I'm able to see everything. So that's where someone like you comes in. You come onto a platform like this and you educate us, because I always say this, I'm a student of life. I'm here to learn. So yeah, do tell, what is the media not letting us know about the US politics?
Okay, so let's we can't start here. We gotta go back to 2015, so I can
Mm-hmm.
actually show you how rigged the U.S. election system is. But they want to be cute and talk about the third world and say how rigged our election system is. That's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely ludicrous. So 2015, Trump announces that he's going to go for president, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got all right. So in the primaries, you got three contenders. You got Sanders and Hillary on the Democratic side, and you have Trump on the Republican side. Now,
Yeah.
with two themes, there were two themes Sanders and Trump were promoting, which was manufacturing, bringing back the factories back to the United States of America. Because you back in 1973, Nixon set an accord with the Chinese, and when that
Mm-hmm.
happened, all the factory jobs started moving from then over to China because it was cheaper labor. So when you look in America at this point in time, there's a whole bunch of empty factories all over the country, all of desolate towns where factories used to be, and nobody's working. So that created
Mm-hmm.
a desolate heat. So here comes 2015. Sanders and Trump are saying the same thing: bring the factories back to the U.S., reemploy the people, all right, get the um, taxes down, get infrastructure built, all right. The only thing was different with Sanders is he was on prison reform, and Trump was talking about illegal immigration. So we go
Yeah.
over to the primaries now, right? And this is when it gets crazy in 2016 because we're now starting to look at the electoral process. A lot of people didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
So on the Sanders was facing Hillary Clinton on the Democratic side, and how it is over here in each state, in each party, they vote for who they
Mm-hmm.
want to run in the national election. So on the Democratic side, I'm just going to come out and say it real. Sanders is what everybody wanted on the Democratic side, but Hillary had that pull. So for some reason, all these specific states he was supposed to win, Hillary kept winning. So she gets the nomination. On
Mm-hmm.
Trump's side, they were going so hard to stop this guy from going in because they can't say anything to him. They can't control him. So when we're looking at how he's winning, we get to find out that in it's electorates in the Republican primaries that actually choose the candidate, and they were trying to finagle it to stop him from getting it. Push come and shove, it didn't happen. He gets the nomination, he wins. All right. So this is when the real war begins. So he comes in, and as soon as he comes in, they start the whole Russiagate foolishness. Right? They try to sign on an FBI guy to try to prosecute him. That fails. They try to
Mm-hmm.
impeach him. That fails. They try to impeach him again. That fails. But you have to understand, within these 4 years, he's doing stuff Obama, Bush, and Clinton couldn't do. And we're
Mm-hmm.
wondering why. He meets with the North Korean, remember? He went and met
Yeah.
with the North Koreans, right? Try to work out a peace deal. He did drop the corporate taxes. There were no wars in the last 4 years. That's facts, right? He even did a peace deal with the Saudis and Iran. And when COVID locked down, everybody got PPP loans. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about people are getting 100,000 US, right?
Yeah.
Convert that into Uganda money. 100,000 US. He was just giving
Mm-hmm.
out PPP loans to everybody, right? Everybody
Yeah.
in the hood. Unfortunately, these cash they were supposed to use it to start businesses. But come on, if you give people in the hood money, you think they're gonna start a business? They're gonna go on a shopping
Mm-hmm.
spree. So when it came time to get the loans back, a lot of these people got locked up. So here
Ooh.
comes January 6th, the whole situation with just like in Kenya. How everybody broke into the parliament, broke into parliament in Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
right? So everybody, the whole situation, to me, I think the
Uh-huh.
whole thing was fake. 'Cause I don't know how the hell regular people can get into Congress. It's controlled by the FBI, the CIA, everybody. Pretty much they let him up in there and created this whole fiasco. They tried to impeach him again. That's it. So they go for the election now, right? So now here
Mm-hmm.
we go again. 2017, the primaries, right? It's 2017 the primary? My bad. 2019 primary,
Mm-hmm.
going to 2020. So on the Democratic side, it's Sanders and Biden, right? Again, it's Biden, Sanders again.
Yeah.
People are seeing the problems with Biden. They're seeing the incognitance, right? That he's not all there. He's gapping even at that point in time, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And Sanders is obviously the man everybody wants. But once again in the primaries, for some reason, Sanders keeps losing. Okay.
Mm.
So Biden gets the vote and he brings in Kamala Harris, who has a shady little history as a prosecutor in San Francisco when she was dealing with certain court cases where
Mm-hmm.
they were accusing her of hiding evidence to release a certain guy who was on death row. And then when they finally did it, he finally got off. And they're saying the San Francisco people, the black people in San Francisco, are also mad because people with like marijuana sentences, marijuana cases, low level,
Mm-hmm.
they was getting higher sentences for some reason to keep them in the prisons, to keep the prisons full. If you know, if you in America, if you work in jail, 7 cents an hour. So basically, you're making licensed car plates and carpentry for these private companies for little to nothing. So it's incentive to keep the prisons full. All right. So here we come again now. Boom. It's
Mm-hmm.
between Biden and Trump, 2020. Right. I've been watching elections since 1994 when I was a little bit, when I was a child. Right. So we're watching this election, and now it's COVID, so people have to do mail-in ballots. Right. And some people
Yeah.
show at the polls. All I know is I'm watching this election, and never in my life have I seen them stop counting at 8 o'clock. They just stopped counting at 8 o'clock, right? Stop counting at
Yeah.
8 o'clock and said, "Oh, we're gonna something happened. We have to recount." Right before they were counting though, Trump was winning, and then a couple hours passed. They started again 8 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden Trump is losing now, right? Then
Yeah.
all these irregularities start coming out. Um, yeah, all these irregularities start coming about the election. Is illegal voting. There's
Mm-hmm.
states where if a town has 2,000 people, but 4,000 people voted for Biden,
Mm-hmm.
81 million people voted for Biden, only 75 voted for Trump. It was a whole chaos. It was a whole fanatic. Nobody know who won. People saying it was stolen. Okay, it is what it is. Biden, you're not a president. Here we go.
Okay.
So we get into 2024, not
Mm-hmm.
2024. Let's talk about Biden's presidency. So in Biden's presidency, right, we're still in the COVID lockdowns because we inherited that from Trump.
Mm.
They put out the mandate that if you don't take a shot, you're going to get fired from your job. And that's against the Constitution, right? People have freedom of speech and freedom of what they want to take and put into their bodies. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, people were getting laid off in New York City. They were getting laid off in DC, laid off nurses who they commended during COVID, who didn't want to take the shot. They started laying them off, firing everybody, right? So now this backfired. That's why you saw all those protests against the shots because they were forcing everybody to take a shot that they didn't want to take. Yes, you have those who want to take it and those who don't want to take it. You don't demonize um you don't demonize the ones who want to take it, right? So in a situation where that blew up in their face, they had to drop those mandates. Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you got inflation going through the roof. Don't get me twisted. Trump wasn't no saint. Rodney Frederick, Trumping was no sin. I'm gonna get to him later. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. So that's in Biden. So basically, now inflation's going through the roof, right? Bank accounts, 401ks are getting lost. Bank accounts, you're paying a whole bunch of money at the gas station, a whole bunch of money for groceries. People's finances are going down, so
Mm-hmm.
people are getting frustrated. And then at the same time, they're doing all this stuff with the schools,
Mm-hmm.
where what we call it drag queen story time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The child gender confusion in the schools. A child, if he wants to change his sex, it can just at early age of 10, it can cut off his genitals and give him hormone pills, all type of crazy stuff that parents did not want in the schools being taught to their children. Right? They just
Yeah.
want to have a general education. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, all this stuff blew up in his face, and then we could see that he has cognitive difficulties. Right? And Kamala Harris is right there, but we don't know what she's doing. I know she
Mm-hmm.
came to Africa promoting certain lifestyle,
In
which you
Ghana,
guys
yeah.
rejected, and
Yeah.
that was it. So when it came to the debate now, everybody's starting to see like, hey, listen, this guy Biden is doing terrible against Trump. Like his cognitive skills are not there, and the CIA is leaking information that this guy's pretty much got a nappy on crapping himself. Right? He's not
Mm-hmm.
all there. So this is now where they bring in Kamala Harris. So this is where they're messing up. You're showing the country that you're not focused because 3 months before the election, you can't find a candidate. You couldn't see that there was something wrong with this guy, and now you have to admit it. And now he has to step down, and he has to put in an unpopular Kamala Harris. And this is where we at. So basically, now this is the type of election where if he wins, it's going to be a problem. If he loses, it's going to be a problem. And this may be very well may not get to election, or if we have one, it's just going to be pure chaos. That assassination attempt, whether it's real or not, is just a precursor to what's coming, and that's what they're trying to tell you. And that's what
Mm.
pretty much it.
Yeah. Um. So I was watching some clips, and so if you don't mind telling us, would you vote? Who would you vote for in this election?
To tell the truth, man,
Uh huh.
I'm not a fan of Harris. I'm not a fan of Trump. To the truth, but it looks like Orange Face is going to win regardless. I mean, look like he's going to win regardless because there's so many people pissed off. So many. I'm seeing people, staunch Democrats, going over to this guy's side, and that's why they're panicking, right? And you have to understand when it comes to the black perspective, you have to go back to Sanders and Trump. Ice Cube, a rapper, came to both of these candidates with a contract for Black America because Black America has been behind everybody else. We've been exploited on all different type of avenues, and he
Mm-hmm.
came with a contract of Black America to Biden, showing him to see if he could put in some policies for us. And Biden said, wait till after the election. He went to Trump, and Trump came with the platinum plan. And he imported some of that stuff Ice Cube said put forth to him. And people start looking at like, hold up, Democrats, you're supposed to be for us. You're supposed to implement this Ice Cube thing. And this guy is the one that's showing us what he's gonna do before, if he was gonna do it anyway. So now
Mm-hmm.
Biden gets in, and we have heard nothing about any policies for Black Americans or everybody else. The only thing they gave them was a holiday, Juneteenth. But for the Asians, they passed the law. You see the bullshit? So
Mm-hmm.
you want the black vote, but you're not willing to do anything for it. But the mistake that we made, we had 4 years to form a block as a black group to
Mm,
go to both parties, right? So we got like 50 million black people voting as a block. And we go to both parties and tell them what we want, right? And the one
mm,
that sounds best, you give me a vote. And if they don't do what they're supposed to do the next 4 years, you vote as a block and vote them out. That's how you get them out. One voting Republican, one
yeah.
voting Democrat doesn't make any sense. You have to vote as a block. So here we now in this situation.
Yeah, I saw I well I did read something. So apparently in the States with you guys, you have, is it like an Asian hate bill? Is that it? Correct me?
Yeah, they passed the Asian hate bill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like there's no bill for like African Americans, but you guys are also a
no,
minority. Or is it
absolutely
that
not. Only
there's
thing
no
they
bill?
gave us was Juneteenth. They gave you a
You
holiday. Yeah, they
there's
didn't go
nothing for
past this past bill. Mm-mm, nothing.
sorry, I'm a bit shocked because I feel like the fact that
Yeah.
you guys, should I say, targeted more, it would make more sense if there was a bill protecting you guys more than any other, I
No, the
guess.
problem is we have a history of just voting without getting anything. So they take it for granted. But now that stopped. Now they're nervous because they're seeing a lot of black voters are going over to the Trump side, and it may be too late for them to correct it. They should have been paying attention to us for the past at least 20 years, but they didn't, and now they find themselves in a situation.
Hmm. Wow, that's unbelievable. I I also saw that. So if you look at her as a, would you consider her like a black woman, like in your eyes?
Oh, so basically, what they're saying with her ethnicity, they're saying
Yeah.
that her father is Jamaican, her mother is
Mm-hmm.
Indian, but her father doesn't consider himself black. Catch my drift?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's saying. He's saying he don't. So in Jamaica, in Africa, you have the light
Yeah.
skinned elites who don't really
Yeah.
consider themselves black, who control the real economies of those countries. So that's where she's coming from. That's where her father's coming from. But she a
Mm-hmm.
sister, but in denial. But she will be black for the time
That's,
being, for the
yeah.
agenda. So most people don't really trust her because they look at the track record and she's been terrible to black men.
Oh. Oh, okay. That I guess makes more sense. Now, what would happen if she won? Would it be so bad?
Basically, if she won, you'd have to expand your company because you're gonna be getting a whole lot of expatriates coming back to Uganda, Africa in general. Because if she wins, it's gonna pop off. Come on, we see pretty much where it's at. If she wins, it's gonna pop off, right? If he
Mm-hmm.
wins, it's still gonna pop off. But if she wins, them white supremacist groups are really gonna get active, and we already know that. And black people ain't really prepared for that. So, like I said, I don't know. Either one wins, it's a problem. Man.
Okay. But you know what? I've seen so many people support Trump, which doesn't make sense to me because for the longest time, from the outside looking in, it was more of like Trump is not for black people. But now all of a sudden, black people are supporting him like he is the Messiah. He has come to save the nation.
As I said, the Democrats caused that on themselves because I said they've been voting for them and they've been taking them for granted. I even went back to the Ice Cube thing and see he hasn't done anything for black people for the past 4 years except give us a holiday. And they're looking back at the last 4 years of Trump and they're not seeing any wars. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are getting work. Taxes are going down. They were
Yeah.
mining. They were trying to bring back the factories back. A lot of stuff going to happen in Trump's administration. Because you got to remember, when he started, he came in and called all the CEOs of America to the White
Yeah.
House and said, listen, We got to bring these jobs back to America so Americans can start working again because it's bad out here. It's bad. Oh man, there's so much homeless people. The drug problem is crazy out there. Trust me,
Mm.
homeless people all over the place. Those CEOs, remember, this whole thing is between the globalists and the nationalists. So I guess
Mm.
Trump will be the nationalist, and the globalists will be the multinational corporations, right? So all
Yeah.
those CEOs, for some reason, they said they were going to do something, and they backtracked. So he started to realize now that as a president, he don't run this country. It's the bureaucrats that run this country. It's the lobbying firms that run this country. And ain't nobody can tell Trump what to do. Nobody can tell what Trump what to do. And it was the same thing with Sanders. They realized they couldn't tell Sanders what to do, so they wanted him out twice. And Trump, he's a billionaire. He has money, so he can push his money around, right? So he's gonna do whatever he feels he wants to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, fast forward to now, people looking back the last 4 years, and of course, I said the PPP loans. They probably looking at the PPP loans on that money they was getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they took that into a fact. They took that into a factor, and they really looking at like, yo, the Democrats not really giving us everything. They want to increase taxes, or inflation's through the roof. We're doing all these wars, like we want to go to World War III. We're in Ukraine. We're dealing with
Yeah.
Israel. We're doing Iran. We're sending all this money, hundreds of billions of dollars overseas. But everybody over here, a lot of people still on welfare, a lot of people homeless, the veterans ain't getting taken care of. We're just sending all this money all over to these other countries. So a lot of people got frustrated with that. And you can see the frustration a lot of these people going over to his side. Now, am I saying go over his side is a good thing? Put it this way: if she wins, we definitely gonna go to war. If he wins, we gonna have a war with somebody. Either way,
Yeah.
the military-industrial complex has to keep going on. Right? They gotta keep selling arms and creating chaos all over the world. It is. It is what it is. Man.
Mm. Oh, indeed. That makes more sense. Um, there's something called, is it like a flat tax fee? Is it something that you guys do? Like, do you pay?
Flat taxes.
Yeah, like a flat tax. Something about that.
What do you mean, income tax?
No, I think there's a thing Americans pay. I don't know if they're saying that it's Trump that's going to bring it or if it's Kamala, a flat tax thing, like a
Oh,
fixed
that's what they're
fee.
saying. Oh, they've been saying that for years. That ain't never gonna happen. They've been saying that for
Really?
years. There's another problem. Both,
Why is
both,
that?
both are trying to keep it because that's not all right. Put it this way: even when it comes to taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Money's printed out of the air, right? US dollar is backed by the faith of the world in the US dollar, the petrodollar, which is
Mm-hmm.
what the Saudis just came and said they're going to start trading other currencies. So that's already starting to erode the US dollar. And the military. They're the biggest military in the world. That's
Yeah.
what keeps our dollar up, right? So we pretty
Yeah.
much print stuff out of it, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
35 trillion in debt, going on to 36 trillion in debt. And we're taxing. How's those taxes that they're bringing in or raking in going to cover that debt? The only thing they can do is bring those jobs, whatever candidate it is, go forth and bring those jobs back to the United States of America so you can get more people working and more people paying into the tax system to pay off the debt. Right?
Mm.
What's killing us is there's no fact. Everything, the phone I'm on right now, the stuff I'm looking at, it's all made overseas. In the 50s and 60s, United States of America, most stuff you saw around the world was made in America because we had all the factories. Everybody was going to work. Now it wasn't no good thing for black people. Let's keep it real. But it was factories and people were working and America was making everything and people were buying houses and cars and whatever. If you take away the manufacturing, right? You take away the
Yeah.
basic skills training and send it overseas. You've not created a whole bunch of unemployment for people that's going to jump on the welfare system, and it's going to be make it more burdensome for me and you. We pay tax. We got to pay more taxes to cover this, right? And they got to bring out more debt, increases the
Mm-hmm.
national debt, and puts pressure in our pockets. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, it's all about. I mean, everybody's saying it. If you see what's going on with Ibrahim Traoré right now, what's Ibrahim Traoré doing? He's building a
Mm-hmm.
gold refinery, right? So he can back his currency to the resources in his land. He has a tomato factory he just put up. He's putting people to work. He has a textile factory he just made,
Yeah.
right? The Russians about to come in and build a uranium plant. All the stuff Africa never had, right? Wow, that's manufacturing. We have the resources. We send it outside these other countries and they sell it back to us. No, let's invest in Africa, right? Invest in the resources. We make mid to small time factories where we can turn those resources into stuff that Ugandans and everybody in Africa can use, right? And that's how you
Mm-hmm.
create jobs. It's the same thing they say in America. Every country just looking out for themselves, right? Same thing in
Mm-hmm.
America. They want to bring their factories back, make their own stuff. Of course, they got to get the resources from Africa elsewhere because they don't have that over there. And then put the people back to work. We can pay it back into taxes and pay off the debt. Fix the infrastructure. Have you ever seen the infrastructure in the United States of America?
I mean, I
Have
see
you
it
ever
in the.
seen the infrastructure? Listen, if you go to Europe right now, in some parts of Africa, the infrastructure is plush. New York City train systems are the worst in the world. Big ass rats, they're dirty. If you go to Miami Airport, it's a white. It's you see dirt on the walls. There's garbage everywhere. It's absolute. The bridges are falling down. The roads are messed up. But they have a so-called infrastructure bill. So what they're
Yeah.
supposed to do is put these people to work. You take that to put these people to work to pay it off later. That's not what's happening. That's what's happening. It's just like they don't care. It's like it's being orchestrated on both
Mm,
sides. I don't know. I'm just going to call it and say these politicians look like compromise. They all
mm-hmm.
into no diddy, but they all look like they compromise, right? Because I don't know what's really going on. That you will go into your country going into a brick wall and you don't pull the bricks to try to stop it. You just
Yeah.
keep on heading there, right? So basically, they're supposed to bring the factory jobs back, take care of the American people, take care of the homeless, take care of the veterans. Yes, they have a legal situation. Let me explain the legal immigration problem. In 1994, Clinton
Mm-hmm.
comes out with the NAFTA Act. And in this NAFTA Act, it's a free trade agreement between Canada, Mexico, and United States of America, where the Mexicans agreed to lower their tariffs and bring an American product, right, for loans. They did the same thing for Jamaica. There's a DVD called Life and Debt that you want to get and watch. And you see the same thing. So 94, what happens is American products start to flood the Mexican market, but the American products are cheaper than the Mexican, right? So what's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen? The Mexicans are going to buy the cheaper American product, especially farm stuff. So all the
Yeah.
farmers, all those people who used to be farmers and used to carry their products to market and sell, they can't sell anymore. But those products are putting them
Mm-hmm.
out of business. So what happened is the Mexicans start going over across the border to look for work, right?
Okay.
It's all done
Yeah.
by the corporation. So basically, the corporations now can get cheap labor from the Mexicans who are illegal, and not just the Mexicans, immigrants in general who are legal, who can build roads or build a house, build an apartment complex, do basic construction stuff. And now that simultaneously puts regular Americans out of work, right? I could even go and tell you that I know a guy, he was a green card holder, and he was telling me that he has his Mason license. He has to pay fees every month. And when he goes out
Mm-hmm.
there try to get work, they turn him down because they rather illegal immigrant because they can pay him less, right? So a lot of
Yeah.
stuff like that, a lot of people are frustrated about. But it's the trade terms that these guys have with other countries, which is purposely done to get cheap labor here, that you destroy their country, right? But at the same time, you're still destroying your country. It doesn't make any sense. So when they sign these trade deals, as I said, the
Mm.
tariffs get lower, the cheaper goods come in, and the immigrants leave. And that's pretty much what's been going on. What has to happen is whoever comes in, they have to sign better trade deals with these countries, right?
Yeah.
Not 10, they get 10 and you get 90. There has to be 50-50, right? So now you allow those countries to be able to build factories in their countries and you build factories in your countries, right? And you have some type of even trade where these people don't have to leave because better trade deals so they can stay in their countries and build their country, but still trade the United States at the same time. But the European colonial powers have never been about this. Any business you
Mm-hmm.
would do them, you get the hot end of the iron. And this pretty much was causing this whole global fiasco and this whole immigration thing that's going on right now. All they need is better trade deals and stop putting in despot or leaders that kiss ass. Or when you have the leaders in Africa will stand up to them or want to do something for their people, the CIA or whoever takes them out and they put in a puppet to carry on their agenda. This is the problem we have.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I get that. So are you like pro anti-immigration, or is it called pro? Like, are you against it or for it?
Oh no,
For
no, no,
immigration?
get to it. I'm an immigrant myself. I'm a rude boy.
Uh-huh.
I'm a Jamaican. You know what I'm saying,
I can hear the
but I
accent.
understand. I understand the game, but I can see what they're talking about because you could say the same thing. In Africa right now, you see a whole bunch how they started. It was a bunch of Chinese workers coming in, right, to the mines.
Yeah.
It was like 80 Chinese people to like 20 Africans, and you guys started protesting like, no, 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 no. We don't appreciate them. We appreciate them coming in and dealing with this infrastructure, but our people have to be the ones that get the jobs, right? And the Chinese had to cave in a little bit. This is what they're saying now, states of America. Because understand, green card holders, immigrants are we also pay taxes, right? We can't go. We also pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
So basically, we see the problems. So I'm saying you got green card holders who are contractors themselves who are having problems because they rather hire a illegal immigrant. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So basically, what we're saying is now have better trade deals, right? Have better trade
Yeah.
deals so these countries can build up their countries just like the United States of America on an even platform. And everybody,
Mhm.
so basically, when somebody goes to another person's country, they just go to visit because they have ample things back home that they can utilize. That's all.
Yeah. So someone in the comment section is saying immigration. I guess Stuart. Stuart is saying, I guess it depends on your position. I think he thinks it's bad for blacks in America. It's an extermination campaign, if you ask him. What do you say about that?
You said it's bad for blacks in America.
Yeah, that's what the person is saying in the comments. He's saying it's bad for blacks in America and it's an extermination campaign, if you ask
So
him.
basically, what they're talking about is illegal immigration, right? You bring in all
Mm-hmm.
these other people, they're going to replace other people, right? People, they're going to make a bigger voting base for the Democrats, I guess, or whoever. And this is what they're talking about because the illegal immigration is also what's displacing people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me say this when it comes to immigration. It depends on what type of immigration you're talking about. We're talking about black immigration, we like
Mm-hmm.
2-3%, right? If you're talking about
Yeah.
immigration, the Indians, Arabs, Chinese, all these other immigrants that they have who actually
Mhm.
set up businesses in the black community but
Yeah.
don't hire black people. You will walk into Harlem, Bronx, Brooklyn, Detroit, Chicago, and you see a whole bunch of immigrants. A lot of them that they gave refugee status to, setting up shops in the black community, and they don't hire black people. White black people just stay on welfare, right? While these people take the money out of the community and carry it back to their community. That's where you get a what's the guy name? Vivek Ramaswamy, right?
Mhm.
That's how you get these guys who become billionaires because their parents come in the black community, invest, take the money out, organize amongst themselves, and then when they want to go start a company, mom and dad got $1 million for you because he got a dollar shop or a bunch of gas stations in the black community. I mean, the Indians own 70% of the motels in this country.
Wow.
70% of the motels. So that and I can understand when homie's talking about immigration in that aspect, yeah, that does affect us. So what they were saying is like there needs to be a law specifically for black people, right? And we can separate this, right? There needs to
Yeah.
be a law for foundational black, as they call them, foundational black Americans or
Yeah.
native black Americans. There needs to
Yeah.
be a law for them, giving them back their land, giving them resources so they can help build themselves. And there used to be an overall law for black people in general that stops other people from coming to our community exploiting us, right? So if you Indian or Arab or Chinese and you come into a black community, you have to have the contents in that community. You can't depend on the HB1 visa system to get more of your people in so you can put them in those stores and shops. You're displacing us. I mean, it's so serious that if you walk in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Detroit, if you want to go try to buy real estate in the black community, you're not going to be able to buy it because the Arabs, the Indians, the Chinese, the Jews, they all own that commercial property. They've made sure
Yeah.
to own the commercial property on the strip. So only they own it, and mostly only them working there. So that puts us at a disadvantage.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is why I
Yeah.
said, yeah, they got to pass specific laws to me, especially the native black Americans, to give them their land so they can
Mhm.
start building, right? And they include the
Yeah.
other black community and the other black world. This is what Garvey was trying to do. This is what Marcus Garvey was trying to do. He was trying to create a black economy amongst everybody, right? So you have West Indians have their economy, Black America has their economy, Afro Latino have their economy, Africa has their economy, and there's trade between the two. And he actually established this. That's why they were so scared of Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey is the only guy to go to the stock market and raise bonds and buy ships and load them with cargo and have trade going from the Caribbean to America, and some even went to Africa. And that's where they went and
Mhm.
sabotaged him because they realized what he was going to do. We need a full blown black economy. And for us to have that United States of America, we can either be Democrat or Republican. We just got to be for each other. I don't know if you ever heard of Dr. John Henry Clark, but John Henry Clark said, we all we got. And he's right. We're all that we have. So, in a way, we have to vote as a block. Whatever party give us what we want, we circle our wagon. We build our own businesses, build our own shops. You guys over there in Africa, you build yourselves up. Guys in the Caribbean, you build yourselves up. And then we all start investing with each other. We all start trading with each other, create our own economy, right? That's going to benefit us. This is what Marcus Garvey wanted. He wanted the black nations of the world to be self-sufficient. You're starting to
Yeah.
see that now. Ibrahim Traore, the guys in Mali, the guys over there in Niger, right? When they formed that alliance, that they're not
Nigeria.
televising. You know, a lot of people over here don't know what's going on over there, right?
Mm.
They don't know about no Ibrahim Traore. They don't know about no Mali. They don't know about no Niger. They don't know about no
Mhm.
AS, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of these guys, they're following Marcus Garvey's trait.
Mm.
Let me do you one. Let me do you one, right?
Good one. Yeah. Huh.
The dude, the guy in Vietnam, the leader of Vietnam that was fighting the U.S. in the
Okay.
'60s, he
Mhm.
used to go to Marcus Garvey conferences in the 1920s. That's who he got the ideas from. Shit, Hitler got his stuff from Marcus Garvey. The whole self-sufficient nationalism, black people taking care of black people. You know what I'm saying? Creating trade
Mhm.
for ourselves, healthcare system, stuff like that. Kwame and Nkrumah. We already know most of the African leaders, they got this stuff from Marcus Garvey and his UNIA, right? But
Yeah.
how did they learn all this stuff? You have to remember in the UNIA, when Garvey organized it, they had about 50 million members. This is the
Mm.
1920s, right? Marcus
Yeah.
Garvey had his own security wing. People think they were just going out there lynching black people. Nah, they wasn't doing that. We was fighting them. Marcus Garvey had the Legion security wing that was going down south and fighting the KKK. That's why they had to meet, because they both were killing off each other, right? Garvey had his own healthcare system within the UNIA, where he recommended black doctors, the Black Doctors Donor Association, and nurses, and he recommended people to go to them and create a little healthcare system. Garvey even had a university over there in Canada, right? Everywhere he
Mm-hmm.
went and he talked, he raised money, and he would start a business right there in that town, all over
Mm-hmm.
the United States of America, right? He had what's he had? He had a whole different constitution. When you
Mm-hmm.
see the problems in Africa with these presidents, all they have to do is follow Garvey. Garvey said, listen, you guys have to pay these guys enough that they won't be corrupt. You give them a certain salary that they won't be corrupt. They won't even think about it because they got so much money already. All they want to do is benefit the country.
Yeah.
He solved that problem from back then. He even built a toy factory because the black door and the white door experiment that they used, and it's the kids would choose a white door over the black door. Garvey
Mm-hmm.
was before his time. He wanted
Yeah.
to build a factory with black dolls, so black girls can get used to having black dolls and love them, right? He was building
Mm-hmm.
factories. Then they came in, the J. Edgar Hoover, FBI, the Du Bois, and all these people came in and sabotaged this whole thing, and it went to shit. So basically, and I'd expand on that in saying that even the light skinned Jamaican elites, when he got deported back to Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It was so bad he went to England, but he was still trying to start a bank. He was trying to start a bank so we all could use, so we didn't have to keep going to their banks where we kept getting denied. And mysteriously, he gets a heart attack and dies at 52 in England. They don't bring him back to the islands till 1964, right? Because remember when he was on the island, the light skinned elites they was giving him hell. That's why he had to leave and come to America in the first place. But fast forward, they bring the body back in 1964, and I
Mm-hmm.
tell you something. Do you know what the Jamaican students know about Marcus Garvey?
Yeah.
One paragraph. That's all they teach about him. One paragraph. The elites were so scared of him, they made sure they kept him out of the school system. I know about Marcus Garvey till I came to America. I didn't know about this guy till I came to America. Right?
Yeah.
So they purpose to keep that out of the school system. They give you one paragraph and that's it. Right? So was I
Yeah.
saying the whole nationalism stuff, a lot of them got it from Garvey, right? I'll even go deeper and tell you I started laughing because you had this guy named Roger Stone, Trump's associate, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's calling for Trump to expunge the case of Marcus Garvey because it's
Mm-hmm.
been found that he wasn't guilty in the first place. They said they went to Obama with it when he was in term and see he had better things to do with his time. So
Yeah.
you can kind of look and see that even Trump look like everything they do, they bite off us. Black people, everything we do, they bite off us. When this whole nationalism stuff and do for self and America has to be self-sufficient, that's all Garveyism. I'm not stupid. I already know who they listen to. But they will never give us credit for what we do. But all I can say to my African brothers and sisters, my people here, Black Americans, Native Black Americans, West Indians, Africans, and diaspora, the best thing I can tell you to do right now, right, is the US dollar is strong for now. Because when they did
Mm-hmm.
those sanctions against Russia, everybody got scared and stopped pulling their money from the United States of America. So all the Africans are taking their gold back. The Chinese are taking their gold back. The whole world's taking their gold back. And they're forming the BRICS against the United States of America. When they come with the BRICS currency, which is what Gaddafi wanted to do in the first place, and they start matching that to the currency, it's over for the US dollar. So basically, you're going to wake up one morning and what used to cost $1.50 for a bottle of water, it's going to be $250 now. What do you think is going to happen in this country? Chaos. We from the third world. They're not used to paying $250 for a bottle of water, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be pure chaos, all type of riots, crazy stuff going on. So I tell the diaspora like this: the dollar's strong right now. You can get land in Uganda for what? 10,000, 8,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people sitting down there with 20, 50, 30,000 in bank account with iron raised, waiting for the dollar to get killed so that whole thing gets wiped out. I would say go to Africa, buy land, hold on to it. If it pops off and gets crazy, you have somewhere to go, right? You at least have somewhere to go, right? And when you get to Africa and realize that, damn, I can grow on this land, I can farm on this land, I can be self-sufficient on this land, right? And start investing in businesses all over Africa because it's cheaper to do it than to do it here. But a lot of people are not realizing that. And this is why I was saying, like, I was asking you and a lot of people to start interviewing business owners in Uganda, right?
Mm,
People who own factories and tell us what Uganda needs as investments. Because, like I said, you got a whole bunch of college degrees over here who went to college. That was another trick, and they ain't working. They're not using
yeah.
their expertise. So why not graduate and go to a country where you can use your expertise and help those people grow and help your people grow? That's
Mm,
investments Africa. End of story.
yeah. Oh, I like that you mentioned that. I mean, someone is saying they're not sure what all this means. Stuart, you've not
Hmm?
been paying attention. No, 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 it's okay. I'm reading a comment, and Stuart is saying he's not sure what all this means, but he'll watch the video again and understand what it means. Amatang one, shout out to you. Is saying she agrees with you, and it will always be bad for Black people, but not for dark-skinned Indigenous people who are of the who of the Americans are the real American Indians being
Okay, okay,
misnomed.
okay, okay, okay.
I
So
don't know if you've
so
seen the
so
comment.
let's
Yeah.
let's 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 rewind this. Yes,
Rewind.
there were native Black Americans that were here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we always keep moving. We don't stay in one place, especially when you're in a place where you're captured, where you're
Mm-hmm.
surrounded. You see, they just killed that girl and shot her in the face, and the police guy who tried to hide it, she had the
Yeah.
hot
So
water, she just shot her in the face. You're in a
yeah.
place. Here's what I said to my FB and my ADOS, right? All this bickering has to stop. I got love for you. You're supposed to have love for me. You my
Mm-hmm.
brothers. End of
Yeah.
story. We all supposed to fight for each other. Yes, you're native black. And understand, not all the native black Americans, they're not all black people. That was a small
Mm-hmm.
specific group that was here already. Most of the people that came and was brought to America were from Africa. We know this. We see the slave rolls out there in Ghana and all these different places. The people were actually brought here. And they were actually brought to the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
And the slave owners brought these guys from the Caribbean over here. So we all
Yeah.
connected. It's the same shit. People lost their cousins, they lost their mothers. You got native black Americans who look just like you, right?
Yeah.
That's your
That's
cousin.
true.
Maybe it was them that left Africa thousands of years ago or just left 100 years ago. It's still your
Yeah.
brother. This is why I said Garveyism comes into it that we all gotta
Yeah.
work together. You know what I'm saying? When I say if you're
Yeah.
native black too, whether you like it or not, you may have to leave, but you're not gonna leave forever.
Yeah.
Here Africa comes in. If Africa wins, you win. Because now look at the AES. What Ibrahim Shube said. If you touch that guy, you touch all of us. Right?
Mm.
So the native black
Yeah.
Americans have to understand that we build up Africa together militarily. Ain't nobody messing with you over here. Because you're
Yeah.
gonna have somebody that can defend you. Why they don't mess with the Indians? Why they don't mess with the Chinese? Why they mess with
Yeah.
Arabs? They have a strong army. My bad, a strong army and a strong economy. So black people in Latin America getting harassed with a strong Africa, they're gonna think twice about messing with you. This is why we
True.
go to the motherland and build up the motherland, right? And as you build up the
Yeah.
motherland, the resources, after tell the native blacks, the resources that the businesses that you're starting over here, you can transfer that money to the black community, United States of America, and build it up. Because you no longer have to go to a bank that's going to reject the loan. Because you're
Yeah.
making money with the continent on the continent anyway. You're also probably going to bring African investors over into the black community, right? That can invest
Yeah.
in it. And the best thing to do was to buy land and build a whole brand new city.
Yeah. I love that. I want to add some people onto the stage. I think they were here. Stuart, I'm going to add you now. Hello.
Huh?
Hello there.
No, I'm
Hello?
sorry, I've added Stuart onto the call. It's the stream yet. Hi Stuart.
Hello, Joanita. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What do you think about everything Jason has told us? He has educated us.
Yes, he's a very knowledgeable guy. Appreciate his thoughts.
Shout
I
out to
guess
him.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I guess probably to make sure that I am in line with what we're talking about here. I guess when I see the topic that says, "What are your thoughts on the current state of U.S. politics?" So that's
Yeah.
so that so I kind of see that differently than what in the thread of the conversation. So I want to make sure that I'm in the right place, as far as what we are talking about today.
Yeah,
You
we are
are.
talking about it. Yeah, we are talking about U.S. economy, but we can't talk
Yeah.
about the U.S. economy without involving Africa.
Yes.
You understand what I'm
So
saying? We're talking
yeah,
about U.S., the states, the politics, and all that stuff. At the end of
yes,
the day, all them politicians still invest in companies in Africa that's exporting us.
yes.
So
So
Yeah.
that,
we still have to involve Africa
oh,
into the
absolutely.
U.S. politics because
I
right
think
now the U.S. is they done kicked them out of Niger and all these different places, and they're doing all type of activities to try to overthrow the AS.
right. Absolutely. And that's always been true. We all know that. I mean, I guess probably just to add a new thread or a new angle to this. When I think of U.S.
Mm-hmm.
politics, particularly, uh, what really bothers me today is what is happening with all the legal immigration that they're doing. I follow very closely what's happening with New York and with in Chicago, where they're bringing busloads of people in for over a year now, uh, many buses per day, where they're dropping people off. I have family in these areas. I know what's happening, and um, and that's a new thing I think, as far as you know how things relate to Black people here. And I think most of us don't actually understand the ramifications of what's happening. We don't get the seriousness of it. And yeah, sure. I mean, I absolutely, totally agree that the real solution for all this lies in Africa for all of us. But in reality, I do think that we as Black people in the United States are in for the first time in a very scary position because they actually don't need us now. So they don't need to care about Black Lives Matter or about calling us N words, whatever. They don't. Their society is now in a position. I think it has to do with technology. It has to do with AI, and because of different things where they're actually replacing the workforce. So I think Black people in the U.S. We're headed. If we want to know where things are headed, and it's not just me that feels this way. If you look at the people that are quote unquote, um, even O'Shea speaks to this honestly, and even Dr. Umar, they all say the same things, and not just them. A lot of politicians all say the same thing. That if you want to know where Black people are headed in the United States, this is independent of Africa. Um, if you look at the state of the American Indian, that's where we're headed. It's an extermination campaign, and I think a lot of us are still going along and talking about what we should be doing and all these kind of things. But we should be doing that, of course. But I'll make this last comment. But I think that we're in a very scary position. I don't think a lot of us truly appreciate that, and so that's how I see U.S. politics right now, as it pertains to Black people. It's not a Democrat or Republican thing; it's an extermination campaign. I know we've always been saying that, but the numbers are totally obvious. These immigrants are being put in inner cities. They're getting benefits. The big corporations are gearing up to work with them as
Mm.
a workforce, and so that puts us in a very dangerous spot. So that's my opinion of U.S. politics as it relates to Black people, because the rest of it we don't care about. So that's my 2 cents. And I'm not the only one that feels this way. This is a very much agreed upon thing that's happening, but most of us don't get it. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Stuart.
Very welcome.
I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Jason, are you still
Yeah.
here?
So yeah. So I was saying to that. To me, I think as black people in general, we shouldn't isolate ourselves, especially when we're in a country where we're captured. All right. It is what it is. Where and he's right about the extermination process. The
Yeah.
extermination process started with Margaret Singer with the Planned Parenthood in the
Mm-hmm.
1920s. That brought it up to now, where you're having so many abortions. Black women having abortions over here. They have all the abortion clinics in the black neighborhoods, right? All over the place. Not but black
Yeah.
neighbor. They encouraging black people to kill their babies because pretty much you can get $100,000 US from pharmaceutical company for
Mm-hmm.
fetus. So that's why they encourage it. And you can chop those fetuses up and turn them into vaccines or whatever is what we're going through right now. There's also the HIV problem that's just decimating the population. There's a serious pedophilia problem that's decimating serious pedophilia problem in Black America, especially in the South. That's decimating the masses. Where there needs the politicians need to come in and solve these issues in the Black community. And the problems that we're having, that's why I said we gotta do it as a block, right? So the politicians that we put in, we know that we have them in our pockets. They're going to look out for our best interests. So we're going to have politicians that's going to deal with the unemployment problem. We're going to have politicians independently that's going to deal with the pedophilia, going to deal with the HIV, deal with the abortion, deal with the medical crisis, deal with the GMO, deal with all these poisons that pop in the black community. You're right. He's right. They are trying to exterminate us. And we're going to U.S. policy and U.S. elections. We had 4 years to start selecting candidates. Four
Okay.
years to start finding candidates to represent us, but it
Yeah.
wasn't done because everybody want to watch Netflix and Love and Hip Hop and dance and
Love
party and
Island.
be all type
Yeah.
of dating shows and all type of distractions that they put on television, right, to distract us from the problems that are going on. And it took for everybody to wake up and find out what's going on. It took somebody to get shot. Oh, orange face to get shot, his ear shot off, right? When everybody
Yeah.
wakes up now and realize, oh, this is serious, right? This is serious. There's going to be dead bodies piled up on the Republican side and the Democratic side because of what just happened. So we've caught ourselves in a conundrum. Yes, it's U.S. politics, but we still have to think of ourselves within U.S. politics. At this point in
Mm.
time, I tell black people, stack your ammunition, start prepping your food. If you got a bunker, go dig one, right? Because it's about to get real red hot over here. We're gonna have to start looking out for each other. Whether you with ADOS, FBA, African, West Indian, we all are gonna have to watch each other's backs now. Because it's
That's
about to
true.
be that serious. Because if he wins, it's gonna be a problem. If he loses, it's
Gonna be a
definitely
problem.
going to be a problem. As I said, we got bigger fish to fry within the U.S. political system. But
Uh,
typically, what they're supposed to do and they haven't done is they haven't focused on the local. We keep talking about
mhm.
it, but we don't do it. Right? Your local politicians, right? Your state senators, right? Your city councilman, right? Start with the city councilman, right? He's right there on the block, right? Make sure
Yeah.
you take those politics of the city council seriously. So you're putting in the right people that's going to starve off the extermination, right?
Yeah.
And do
Yeah.
stuff like that. But we got the
Yeah.
wrong politicians. Most of our politicians are
This.
compromised. Trust me, they
Yeah.
compromised.
Yeah. I want to add someone on. Nubian. Nubian. Don't be in the. I'm sorry. Nubian, can you arrange your camera to not
Yeah.
switch?
So yeah. So there's also those who black is just a term who consider this and say no, we're really Nubian, as a Black Americans, natives would say they're Native Black Americans. They're Native Black Americans, but we shouldn't call ourselves Black. We should call ourselves Nubian and Kemetic and all this other stuff. To me, I say to each his own. As long as we have the same page that we in trouble, we got to work together. We got to stick together, and we have to provide for the next generation. So when we look at this back when we're in our 80s, we know we've provided something for the next generation to keep on going and be strong. Get my drift?
Mm, I guess it.
My drift means you understand.
Yes, I do. I understand it. I thought you said something else. No, I understand it. I'm learning so much, honestly. I'm learning so much, and I hope that the people listening in are very motivated, because if I was listening in right now, I'd be planning my exit like yesterday. But I know it's not easy as I want to make it seem. But let me try and get someone here. But I had this question as I figure out how to get Nubian on. Nubian, I'm gonna add you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
You're showing us the
Joanita.
closet. Can you turn the camera to your face?
It's kind of difficult.
No, there's a thing that's like the arrows.
I mean, let me ask you this. Can you focus on my voice and what I say as
Okay,
opposed
so
to my image right now?
you
Yeah, I
can
see
turn
you
off
giving
your
us the whole
camera.
apartment tour. I see
Yeah.
you showing us the
So,
mansion.
so turn off your camera.
Hey, I didn't know you could see that, man. I got a message from Joanita's, I guess, program saying that she was the only one that could see it.
No. I That's for the chat. I can see this. There's a sound in your background.
Hold on. What about
Okay, brother.
now?
It's done. Just turn
What we
off
looking
your
at here?
camera. When you see down at the bottom of your screen, there's like a camera icon. You can tap that, and then it will switch off your camera.
Or basically just put it on the table, face it to the wall, and just start talking.
Yeah,
Or the part where you got the little circle with the camera, just put your
Like
thumb
that?
over it.
How about that?
yeah,
There you go.
yeah. That's fine. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for coming on.
Okay. And my voice changes, Joanita, depending on the way that I speak, but I don't know which area you want me to address first. I've been listening very closely to your distinguished guest, and he has a lot of valid points.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Um,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, but what it boils down to, Joanita, in simple layman terms, is that the Democrats and the Republicans are one and the same.
I
Mm.
agree.
It's a distraction to keep Black people's minds off of what's going on in the rest of this planet.
Yep.
Mm.
You made mention, and your guest made mention of the rapid changes taking place in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Gabon, Guinea, Senegal, as we speak.
Yeah.
And the Western media has totally, not partially, but totally shied away from this. This is groundbreaking news, but it just stands to show you that the Western media works in conjunction with Western interests. Um, the situation in America, Joanita, as I've been telling you in my comments on Kinganda and
Mm.
on your videos, um, has always been this way for a certain segment of Black people.
Mm-hmm.
The hard times that some of the middle class African Americans are facing right now, um, There are black people in America that have been experiencing that for the longest.
Hmm.
Um, the problem is that in the West, there's one giant divide between black people and African American. I use those two terms very differently because they're very different individuals. You have a group of people that can take part in Western privilege to a certain extent, but when they reach a glass ceiling or when a door is shut on them, then they run back to the black side of the fence, so to speak. In other words, uh, they walk both sides. They attempt to walk both sides. When it's convenient for them to be African American, they are that. When it's
Yeah.
yeah, and when it's convenient for them to be black, they are that.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, yeah. And I don't know what's going on. This is a worldwide thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going on in Haiti. It's going on in Uganda. It's going on in Zimbabwe. It's going on. I mean, pretty much wherever you have African people on this planet, there's an awakening. There's there's and it's being spearheaded by the youth, by the way. And
Mm-hmm.
and revolutions always are spearheaded by the youth. Um, but it's a worldwide awakening, and we have to be very very careful because sometimes we underestimate the influence of Western powers.
Mm-hmm.
We underestimate the reach and extent of Western world dominance. Even though the Western world is in decline, it hasn't declined or collapsed yet. So,
Yeah.
so that's, I think we have to keep that in mind first and foremost. Um, I don't want to get on here with any conspiracy theories and speculate about what really caused the riots and unrest, civil unrest and revolutions in Kenya that are ongoing right now. I don't want to get on here and open up a can of worms, but I will inform you guys of this. There are people who are saying that Western operatives financed and instigated that
Mm-hmm.
situation, as well as the situation that happened a couple of days ago there in Uganda, Joanita.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
as recent last week.
yeah. And all those people got arrested. They're saying that there were Western provocateurs,
Yeah.
however, yeah.
Or
They're
interfere.
saying, yeah, Western interference as well as Western financing. These people come over. Um, they adopt an orphanage. Uh, they get involved with local politics. They contribute a lot to the local community and the people. And by gaining the trust as an outside entity, when you gain the trust of an indigenous population, it's a lot easier to move as opposed to if these guys were looking at you with the suspecting eye, if that makes sense to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Could I interject?
Please.
So basically, yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing when they came to Africa. They came with the Bible and the missionaries, right? And when they came with the
Mm-hmm.
Bible and missionaries, they pacified everybody. Then they came with the army and took the land, right? And if you when you open your eyes, you had the Bible and they had the land. So this guy is saying is absolutely correct. Any
Yeah.
country, any African country, that's anti-America or anti-West. So any African country that looks like it's going over to the China, Russia, BRIC side, they are going to go into those countries and try to destabilize. How many times have they tried to assassinate Ibrahim Traore? He's right. So if you want to take it beyond race and take where he's going on a global aspect, as I said before, it's the globalist vs the nationalist, right? But everything is mixed in between. And when he's talking about black people, he's right. But you have to understand at the top, the black elite that they choose at the top, that's everybody. That's ADOS, FBA, African, West Indian, and they're
Yeah.
scattered all over the world, and they're all part of, let's keep it real, secret society, and the
Yeah.
secret societies control all the money. So you see all these actors, these sports athletes with all this money, but you wonder how you don't spend in the black community because they're not supposed to. They're not their money's controlled, and if any time they try to do something and get above their breaches, they take them down. So you can come up, right? And if you come up, but you gotta join that society, and you start making that money, they control how you spend your money. And if you ever sidestep, game over. Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are some great points you made, sir. And Joanita, the Western world, the way it's designed, is very elaborate. These guys, and when I say these guys, I mean Europeans. They took a lot of time, effort, and thought in designing a system that could subjugate black people in both hemispheres, both the West and the East. And it has succeeded for a few hundred of years, if not more. And we have to understand the intricacies and the delicacies and the parameters surrounding these Western governments. Australia, Europe, and America is what I'm referring to. They they operate on the downright belittlement, the downright misuse, abuse of black people worldwide. And they use certain people in the communities of black people to facilitate their goals and their aims and their objectives. Like, for instance, um, let's use President Biden just for a hypothetical example in his administration. He has a black man as Secretary of Defense, a very dark skinned black man as Secretary of Defense, and his name is Lloyd Austin. He also has a female African American, dark complected his spokesperson for the White House. Her last
Yeah.
name is Pierre. I don't know what her first name is. Are you familiar with her, Joanita?
I think I've heard of her. Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah, she's very dark complexioned as well.
Sister, you know me see what the frizzy is.
Yeah, so when young black children look at the TV or the history books or they're on the internet and they see dark skinned black people in high positions of power, it gives them the illusion that they can reach or attain that same goal, that everything is fine, that there's no discrimination, that you can be whatever it is you want to be, when we all know that that's a lie. So again, they use these individuals as poster boys, poster girls, to give an illusion of progress, to give an illusion of, okay, we've made some substantial movement as a people in this country, when the reality of it is we've gone backwards instead of gone forward. And the people in America and in Europe and in the Caribbean who are responsible, the black people who are responsible for those backward steps that we have taken know full well who they are. They know full well who they are. They're not going to admit it. They're not going to allow anyone else to admit it, but they got played for a fool, and the black community is at risk. Is We're at a more serious time right now, Joanita, than we were when before slavery was instituted. These people mean business. The white man, the European man, as what's going on in Ukraine and Russia and Israel, they don't do a lot of talking
No.
when it comes to the threat or survival of their people. They don't do a lot of talking when it comes to the betterment of themselves and their future generations. What
Mm.
black people had forgotten, Joe Anita, as I've been telling you and commenting, I don't know if you read it in some of the Kanganda episodes, is that many black people, uh, like your boss, and this is my opinion, he might get mad at me for saying this, like Duke, they have forgotten slavery. They have forgotten that it wasn't a group of white people that decided on slavery and colonialism. It was the vast majority of them that decided, and they kept it for hundreds and hundreds of years. So this is a group mentality, a group effort for world domination and black subjugation. This is not a few people talking here. So when you talk about Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you're talking about birds of the same feather, so to speak. These are the same individuals. These individuals eat dinner and lunch with each other. They meet at private resorts and they vacation and they play golf and racquetball and eat duck for lunch. This is not where black people have any other choice, Joanita, but to embrace sincerely, repent for what they've done as a people, embrace their blackness, and extend their hands across the Atlantic Ocean to their brothers and sisters back on the African continent and
Ashe, Ashe.
ask them ask them humbly, not like they're entitled to something, not like, okay, I'm black, part of Africa is mine. No, you've been out of the Eastern Hemisphere, you've been out of Africa, you have no semblance of African culture, no semblance of African symbolism or the African way of life. Although you may know some things business wise in terms of the Western world that could help Africa or African people to some extent, it's not going to be traded for the way that Africans do things. So when you come to the continent, this is my opinion, you come humbly. Like
Mm.
Joanita, when I touch African ground, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm going to fall on my knees. My mouth is going to kiss the ground. I'm gonna sit there and cry for at least an hour or more. I'm just gonna sit there and cry by myself. Not tears of pain, but tears of joy, knowing that I finally made it home. I finally made it around people that look like me. I finally made it around people that have the same type of dignity, the same type of upward mobility, the same type of caring for their own kind. Just to be in that environment, that's going to bring tears to my eyes, Joanita. And I'm not a sensitive man. I'm not a sensitive man. But I think that that a humble approach. You know, a lot of African Americans, particularly entertainers, they come over there, they start throwing American dollars around, they start buying pieces of property, and they bring over the same type of arrogant, flaunting, boisterous uh, attitudes that they have in America. And then when they're hit with a closed door by African officials and African people who see their lewdness, they scream foul play, Africans don't like us. Or they scream foul play, they're taking away our land. If you're taking the land and you're misusing it in any type of way, I feel that the country and the officials that run the country have a right to take that land. If you're in Africa and you're acting in a lewd, unbecoming way, I believe they should have the right to detain you and deport you out of the country. I don't think your skin color or your African heritage or your DNA test entitles you entitles you entitles you to come over there into the oldest continent on earth, Mother Africa, the oldest continent on earth, and run amok and do as you did in the Western Hemisphere. This should be a time of humility, a time of reflection, a time of reaching out for God, the Most High, and asking sincerely, not individually, but as a group of people, asking for forgiveness, asking that whatever we did so many hundreds of thousands of years ago, or whatever sin we committed as a people that brought us to this point in both hemisphere, forgive us for it. Sincerely forgive us for it, and restore us back to the greatness, restore us back to the royal, restore us back to the technologically, spiritually, socially, politically advanced people that we once were. Restore us back to the world leaders, restore us back to the dignified and noble people that we descended from. This is this foolishness, this mockery of Black people, wherever we are. It's gone on long enough. It's gone on for enough time. This is absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen a place, and this, Joanita, is not poking fun at the continent of Africa, but there are places in Europe that detain, and there are places in the Middle East and in the Asian world that treat African people horribly, who are over there on work details or who are over there for whatever reason. They treat them horribly. But then I see stories of these same people opening up little Chinatowns and opening up little India towns and building restaurants and stuff like that. And they don't allow Black people to come in on their own continent. They can't go to a restaurant that's owned by a Chinese or owned by an Indian. So this
Come again.
kind of,
Hold
yeah,
up. Can I interject?
yes, sir.
Please.
Say what?
Yes, sir.
Come again?
Yes,
You're
sir.
saying that these people have the audacity to be exploiting black people over here, open up businesses in their community, don't hire them, take the dollars out and give it to their kids so they can become a Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever the hell his name is. And you're trying to tell me that they have the audacity to build stuff in Africa and tell us we can't come in there?
No, what I'm saying is I switched gears and I informed Joanita that I wasn't trying to point the finger at Africa. But one
Mm,
thing that disturbed me was how Africans get treated in Dubai, how they
Yeah.
get treated
okay.
in the how they get treated in the Philippines, how they get treated abroad. And then these same ethnicities that treat them horribly when we're in their country, they come to the African continent and to the various countries in Africa and set up communities and businesses like in South Africa, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, different places, and they don't allow the indigenous black people to even come in. This, in my mind, is absolutely ridiculous. And I fall under the umbrella that if you don't want me around you, I don't want you around me.
Yeah.
If you don't want me in your country, I don't want you in mine. If you don't want to live by my cultural values, I don't want to live by yours. So I don't want to sit here and turn this into turn Joanita's podcast into my own personal rant. I don't want to bring up people like Robert Mugabe or Idi Amin or any other prominent African leader who had controversial views when it came to foreign entities owning their land, residing in their land, and around their women and children. I don't want to turn this into a personal attack, Joanita. So I'll leave that conversation for another day.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
thank you so much. No, it's not. No, I think we've all heard what you're saying, and we appreciate you coming on. Actually,
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to come on, Jonita. Now, you know that you were the reason I started following Kenganda years ago.
wow, thank
Yeah.
you.
And the reason I started following you, I'm saying this to the world now because I have an opportunity to. The reason I started is I went back to your early years, your beginning years at
Oh,
Kenganda, and I followed all of your episodes when you started all the way up to present. And no matter how uncomfortable the topic was, no matter how dull the topic
mm-hmm.
was,
Yeah,
you always kept a positive and interesting and vibrant light on things, and you always kept your own opinion. And this attracted me to you. Now
mm-hmm.
I'm a
There we
56-year-old man. I was born in 1968, Joanita. My
Okay.
my youngest child is 33 years old. My baby is 33 years old.
Wow, that's
Okay.
amazing.
I want to put that on the table. But
Mm.
I just love, I think you have so much potential.
Thank
I
you so much.
Yeah, I just wish you wouldn't be down on yourself about your English. Your English is fine. Your English is very understandable. It's very communicating. Um, but with anything, there's always room for improvement. But your English is fine, Joanita.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Thank
I really enjoy your viewpoints. I really enjoy your topics.
you.
And I'm so happy that you brought me on live. Finally.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Stuart. You're so kind. You've come on, you've educated us. I've learned so much. So thank you so much. I'm going to message you after this. Hold on.
Hello.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Jason, we're back.
yeah. So Janita, you can see, man. Everybody trying to propose to you and make you their wife. You know what I mean?
No,
Right here,
but
a lot of dudes just got
no,
smacked by their wives a while ago.
we're here to talk
You know what I'm
about the
saying?
serious stuff. We're here to talk about the serious stuff.
Huh?
But Jason, we need to wrap this up.
Yes, we do, we do, we do.
I did have one question for you to just wrap this up. My question was like, in an ideal world, what would your president be like?
Come again?
In an ideal world, what would your president be like?
My president?
In an ideal
In
world,
an
like,
ideal world,
sorry, it's an assumption.
it's an assumption. In the ideal world, what a president would be like. Can you hear
What
me?
would your president?
What
Yeah,
would
we can,
your
but
president?
you've
Yeah,
tapped
we
on
can, but
something,
you've tapped on something. Let me
so I
go
can
back.
hear myself.
As long as you can still hear me. As long as you can still hear me.
Yeah, okay, it's okay. Let's just
Yeah,
wrap
okay,
this
it's
one
okay.
up.
Let's just wrap this one up. Yeah, so my whole situation is my ideal president.
Yes.
My ideal president, my ideal president will be when I move to Africa and I go vote for him. You know what I'm saying? That's my
Okay.
ideal president. My whole synopsis is the continent. You know what I mean? Yes, we deal with U.S. politics as black people got to come together and do what we have to do to strengthen ourselves here. But I always say everything still goes back to the motherland. With a strong motherland, you have a strong black America. With a strong motherland, you have a strong black Caribbean. With a strong motherland, you have a strong black Europe. With a strong motherland, you have a strong North America. That's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? Building our
Mm-hmm.
resources, all the people over here who um who have know-how, who not getting far. I'm saying go back, relearn your stuff, get some funds together as a group, go back to the continent. I mean, there's so much stuff going on in the continent right now. People just using $100,000 in building like at least one building. Depends on what type of country you are. I think Wadamaya was showing some guy from Burundi, and I guess he was some rap in Australia. He came back a little bit of money, got with the bank, and built a whole apartment complex of townhomes. He's building a second one, and he's going to build a third and fourth one. So there's so much potential in Africa. A lot of stuff is cheap right now. We all got to build our resources together as a group of people and go back home. This is why I was calling for you to like help grow your channel. I'm gonna start up my YouTube channel with my
Yeah.
cousin, and we're just starting out, so we have to grow organically together and build the
Yeah.
channel, build the channel, build the channel until we could have probably like a year from now, like a probably come to Uganda, or we could start as a live, probably a couple hundred people, and we have like a
Mm-hmm.
business summit where everybody's discussing ideas, right? Stuff what we have to
Yeah.
do, and we come together as a team, and we come to whatever country we want to come to in Africa, and we start investing. So if this team invests in Uganda, and we got this team that invests in Kenya, this team invests in Ghana, Nigeria, well, they all interlock, right? This is what we have to do. I mean, if you look at Nigeria, what's going on right now, you have the guy named Ngate or something like that, Dogate. He has an
Dangote.
oil, Dangote, he has an oil refinery that he made $20 billion investment, so he could make so Nigerians and the rest of Africa can get gas, crude oil turned to gas, gasoline, so he can supply the whole all of Africa. He's
Yeah.
now running into the problems because his country, the government has now turned against him, right? Government's turned against him. They're giving him all type of problems because he's interfering with the European companies that send actual gasoline to Nigeria. These are the puppets that we're talking about, which is why I said we as a people have to go there and invest in Africa ourselves, where we have mid to small size factories. Hey, say we're near a gold mine and we can build up a little small structure. I say the size of a basketball court for now, right? Buy the land, build up a structure the size of a basketball court, and see if we can start refining that gold that's coming straight from the mine. See if we can start finding the cobalt that's coming straight from the mine and making it into a product, right? That
Yeah.
Africans make that they can use and we can export to the rest of the world instead of them just coming out taking out our resources. Another thing I was telling you earlier about that there's a whole bunch of money locked up in the Swiss bank accounts. Africa doesn't actually need any funds. The stuff Mobutu stole, and the other guy from Burkina Faso, one who
Yeah.
betrayed what's his name, Sankara. All these
Yeah.
African leaders that stole money and have this money to this day in the Swiss banks. They got to go to International Criminal Court, petition them to release all these funds, right? So now you see Uganda probably got 8 billion out there US outstanding in Swiss bank accounts. You can now come take some of that money, service debt a little bit, but take the rest and start building infrastructure for yourselves inside the country without the help of the Chinese or the Russians. Only thing we
Yeah.
need to do is go to these countries, go to their schools, just like the Chinese did, and learn, and come back and build. We have the money, we have the resources. You just gotta know how to fight and get it. And that's all.
Mm. Yeah. Oh wow. That was powerful.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Jason, we'll talk, yeah?
No problem, no problem, no problem. We could do this
Okay.
once a month if you want. All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of feedback from Jason, so I wanted oh, he's still here in the studio. I just wanted it not to disturb anyone in the back. But guys, this was such an amazing, this is my first live that has taken this long, 1 hour and 39 minutes. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I hope that you actually learned something I say this all the time. I say that I am a student of life. I'm here to learn. And so what so recently in the office we were talking, and then they were talking about US politics, and I just realized I actually don't know that much about US politics. So I said, you know what? I know it's not my business, but I would like to know more, and I would like to know like people in the States, what they're thinking, where their mind is at. So that's where this live was going, and that's where I was driving it to, so that whoever is watching this can also learn something. I hope that. Oh, thank you, Stuart. Thank you so much. Thank you for your super chat too. But I hope that, listen, I am here to elevate my mind and in everything that I do here. So, Charlie, next time you come on. But yeah, I want to take an opportunity to thank each and every one of you who came on, and also remind you that I do have a digital product that is an ebook. Just send me an email. I'm working on my website. You know, some things in Uganda are a bit, the payment methods are a bit, sorry for another day, but just send me an email and then I'll be able to get you the ebook. And then I also do consultation. So if you're looking to relocate to Uganda, or you need like a Ugandan plug, someone to like do some things for you on the ground before you get here, then I am the person that you can talk to. Yeah, it was really good, Stuart. Jason was amazing. He came on and he had all this knowledge, and I was like, oh, I kept noting down things in my head, like, oh, I need to go research about that. I need to research about that. But he has such a teaching persona, which I love. He didn't come on here to brag and like be like, oh, I know ABCD and you're dumb. He come on here to be like, okay, this is what is happening. This is what you can learn. This is what we can do. Okay, problem solution, problem elaborated solution, which I love. Hi, Mr. Strokes, you've come when we're leaving. Stuart, send me an email. I send you the ebook. Actually, send me an email so that I can send you the ebook today. But yeah, what other thing? I also have March dropping, guys. I have March dropping um next month, and this is not something that just happened. I've had this March for, since the year started. I'd wanted to do something because like all the shirts were boring. Like people were having that merchandise, but it was boring. It was lacking the touch. So I started designing my merch at the beginning of the year. I've had it. I've had samples. I've worn some samples. I've actually given my boss some samples too. Gabs too has a sample. Yeah. So I've worn it. I like the quality. It's amazing. My previous clients who just left, actually the business doctor and her husband, they were just in Uganda. They came through my consultancy and they stayed at my place somewhere else. They stayed at my place, which I love. Well, I hosted them and it was amazing. They also got shots. Yeah, so the beauty of booking a consultation with me is that i I don't want to say guide you, like I hold your hand through the process, because it won't be an easy process, but I hold your hand through the process to make sure you get to the destination. Okay. um oh, tongue is commenting. Yes, Jason. Salute to the Black family, help this channel grow. Yes, I would appreciate that. I mean, yeah, why not? I took this project on. I mean, I've been doing YouTube forever, but I decided to do my personal. Well, I've had my personal channel too. It had content, and then after Kim's passing, I kind of switched. Something happened. I deleted all the content, but I'm back. I'm back and better. So yeah, I'm so grateful. I have a video dropping tomorrow. Ooh, you guys will want to see this one. It's about the miseducation of Africans by colonizers. Mm, I'm excited for that one. I did it a while back, but it's now edited and it's ready to go. So I'll be dropping that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I'm excited. Once again, remember, you can send me a super chat now. I'm on the standard. You can send me a super chat. You can buy my merch. You can buy my ebook. You can book a consultation. You can do everything to support Joanita Maya, and I would appreciate it. And I say I don't do this for the money. I do it because I'm very passionate about it. I genuinely love helping people. I don't like seeing people get scammed. of fraud or anything like that. So I like to step in and protect them. And the fact that these are people that I know, I treat them like my own people and give them my people. Because we live in a continent where it's like who knows who. Anyway. Oh, Chanel girl, Mackenzie. Hi. Thank you so much for watching. I'm about to end the live. I feel so sad. But next time better, we're gonna be doing these lives are going to be more consistent. So every Monday at 8 p.m. I will be here. Come on by Anibaya. Come rain, come sunshine. I'm gonna be here. I don't take it for granted that you're here today. We had to pivot. The laptop crashed. I'm using the iPad. Okay, live, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, thank you so much, Jason. You are a blessing. Thank you so much to everyone. I hope that you have a good day, good morning, good evening, and good night. Bye. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. What would your president be like? They were just in Uganda. They came through my consultancy and they stayed at